Get this 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network.
All right, let's get to hard news.
The Taliban has agreed to release
A new single because that Dean Guy one didn't go very well. Sorry.
Boing.
It's almost time for a break.
Sure is.
That's the thing.
Dean Geyer and Taliban gags, Tone.
Look, I'm doing that, loading it in this morning, and Matt Dower, who's,
Pots and pans.
Pots and pans, puts all our clips together for us, produces all our sketches. He was just looking wistfully into the middle distance going, whatever happened to Osama bin Laden?
Oh, who knows?
Haven't heard from him for ages.
Yeah, he's done nothing.
He hasn't put out any new gear for a long time.
His videos were going really well too. I think at the video store, Osama bin Laden and Steven Seagal are the two major straight-to-video release guys.
Wow, are they really?
He's the only man with worse cabin fever than Matty D on the Pots and Pans.
So true.
He's been in hiding so long.
Indeed. And, of course, the producer of the show itself, Nikki Hamilton, she's pregnant as...
So preggers. She's so preggers that she's eating pasta with one fork and then straight into fruit salad with another one.
Yeah, gee.
I respect that.
Match.
And this baby's not likely to happen before the break, is it? I mean, you could have timed it for our last show before the break. That would have been nice.
Oh, what a wonderful way to go out. Richard delivers Nikki's baby.
Maybe...
Live on airs. Tony eats the placenta.
Could we induce the baby somehow for tomorrow's show? What could we induce it with? Jet tickets? Would that work?
Rock the block tickets.
Hey, I tell you who's back in the news.
Who's that?
the nappy-wearing former astronaut accused of attacking a romantic rival will claim temporary insanity.
She's got a good case. Exhibit A, Your Honour. It's a bit full. I go change myself.
Oh, it's just so much fun for newsreaders. They get to say nappy-wearing astronaut again. And that story, they just got the word nappy in as many times as they could.
Lisa Nowak's lawyer says she's competent to stand trial, but argues she was far from stable when she armed herself with various weapons and nappies on a road trip from Texas to Florida. He claims the rocket scientist was suffering from a mental disorder.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, she's no rocket... Oh, no, hang on, she is. Sorry.
Rocket scientist.
Pardon me.
And also a scorching case of nappy rash, I've heard. Suffering from many things.
Pluto Nash.
Stop, don't mention Pluto Nash.
Sorry.
What the figures...
That will bring the show down. She's armed with nappies.
Yes.
It's weaponry now.
Flinging him out the window.
What else? Oh, yeah, we've got a... Have we got just one more clip with the word nappy in it?
In her car, they found a knife, mallet, a BB gun and 40 nappies, 3 of them used. Nowak, a married mother of 3, had fallen for Offerline but has since apologised to the other woman.
I would like her to know how very sorry I am about having frightened her in any way.
Oh, that's very cheap.
That is a cheap gag, Tone.
So need a break, don't we?
Sure do.
Now, there's a prison in Victoria. I think it's a new high-tech prison.
Yeah, it's a better one.
Yeah, they were sort of talking about it on the news. It didn't sound like much fun to me.
Gangland killers, terrorists and mass murderers will soon be serving their sentences at the $7 million Melaleuca High Security Unit.
It is the highest security prison we have in this state, and it's really for the worst of the worst.
Cells and common areas will be monitored around the clock. Infrared technology keeping an eye on prisoners at night.
No, that sounds very grim. That doesn't sound like much fun. Even if you were the nappy-wearing astronaut, you wouldn't be laughing in there.
No, not at all.
How can you make it sound more appealing? You know the answer, I reckon?
What's that, Tone?
Ed Cavali's prize music.
Gangland killers, terrorists and mass murderers will soon be serving their sentences at the $7 million Melaleuca High Security Unit.
It is the highest security prison we have in this state, and it's really for the worst of the worst.
Cells and common areas will be monitored around the clock. Infrared technology keeping an eye on prisoners at night. Sound and motion sensors will detect any inmates who aren't where they're supposed to be. A web of steel wire crisscrosses the exercise yard. The unit's design allows wardens total control over inmates. Steel screens block new arrivals from view. An inmate could serve an entire sentence not knowing who's in the cell next door.
Oh, sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Love to go in there.
Who's next to me? Is it Ivan Milat or the nappy-wearing astronaut?
I feel I'm going to be shanked by a guy in a tux. if I go
Okay,
there.
I think we're out of the blocks. We need
Oh, man.
We need planes. We need aircraft flying around inside the studio. Do you want to have a crack at that next?
Yeah, this place is now the Get This hangar.
August. It's really happening.
No, it's really happening.
It is really happening. Go to the website. Go to the Triple M.
triplem.com.au.
the gymnasium of concepts, the labyrinth of ideas.
Tone, got 3 for you to look at today.
You can waste, how much time can you waste at the Triple M website now? There are so many clips, so much footage.
Oh, there's so much on ours.
So many galleries.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, Richard Marsland's lookalike galleries going up just by itself, captions by Ed Cavalier. Let's have a look at this, Tone. This is an entry for Borgus. Describe what those two gentlemen are doing.
Oh, they've made robot costumes just out of fridge boxes with alfoil stuck to it.
Done well.
There's a lot of alfoil going on.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's an alfoil shortage this week.
Is that right?
If these photographs are anything to go by.
What about this gentleman? Tone, describe what you're seeing there.
He's just... he's got a calculator on a bit of string around his neck and he's holding up Rex Hunt's fishing tips.
Brilliant. Brilliant work. And then another gentleman who's really covered himself in glory. Describe what you're seeing there.
Oh, that man has strapped a rat trap to his face with just his nose poking through the hole. That looks great. That actually looks excellent. He's really the only, I think, contender for... Oh, see, I don't want to give anything away for tomorrow.
Okay.
Obviously, we'll announce the winner tomorrow, but I think we all know who's in the lead at the moment.
Oh, there is a gentleman in the lead at the moment.
I
You
think
know
there's
who you
I
are.
think there's a famous Hollywood actor who has one of them the other end. That's what I've heard, the rat trap. He's living Borgus as we speak, 24/7. But that's great. Either he's got a really small face with a mouse trap on
Are you
it.
talking about Richard Gere? Is that what you're suggesting?
Is that who?
Well, see, that's one of those stories.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you know, it's been in the movie Scream now.
Okay.
So now that it's been mentioned in a movie, I'm assuming we're allowed to
True.
talk about it. But the thing is, apparently the thing with that story is if you talk to someone like your grandfather, he'll go, oh, we used to hear that about Charlie Chaplin.
That's all right.
You know, it's one of those rumours that gets Jim Neighbours at one point. It gets passed down from generation to
So
generation.
someone in this generation, an actor from this generation needs it.
Yeah, he's just
Well,
sleeping
toady.
at night with an array of rat traps just round the back door.
Just in case. Pops its head out.
Let's go for Shia LaBeouf.
All right, Shia LaBeouf.
Okay.
He's on board.
In the crosshairs.
All right, have a listen to this, Tone. So Borgust is up. Now, we all know what the prize for Borgust is.
Yeah, it's a remote control helicopter.
Second prize.
Slightly smaller remote control helicopter.
Third prize.
I think it's exactly the same sized remote control helicopter.
As second prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have a listen to this guy.
Yes.
Nathan Partridge has written in, and he says...
Aha!
That's obscure. Some real prizes, you bloody tight ass. While you're at it, give us an illegal download CD, chicken man.
Yeah, we do get a lot of criticism for our prizes. But the thing is, if you don't have prizes or you have crappy prizes, it weeds out people who just call up to get a prize.
That's so true,
And then
Tony.
you get the mad enthusiasts, the
Yeah.
people who really want to tell you something
Get
calling
this,
up.
the only radio station trying to weed out listeners.
We're a station now, are we? Yes, it's Get This FM.
Okay, so, Tone.
Don't forget Triple M coming on from
Okay.
after 1 o'clock.
Okay, when you're finished. Now, guess what, you two?
Oh.
What am I holding in my hot little hand?
It's the control device for
Yes.
the remote
Whoa.
control helicopter. I
Very
don't know
much.
if it's legal to fly one indoors, especially in such a small room as this. A booth, might I
We
suggest.
will soon find out. Richard, you've got the instructions here. Now, Nathan, this is for your benefit only. This is to show that the prizes are real, and not only are they real, they totally kick ass. So, Richard, I've got the helicopter in my hot little hand. Listeners can't see it, obviously. So tell me, what are the steps I need to get this bad boy a-flying?
Okay, well, I think we've already described the instructions written by the good people at
West Excelsior.
West Excelsior.
Yes.
Okay.
Step 1, pull out the controller's antenna.
Yep, done.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, hang on, come on.
That's cheap. Step
Gratuitous.
2, turn on the controller's power switch. Red LED on it brightens.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty bright.
Step 3, turn on the chopper's power switch. Put it onto the open ground.
Rich, if we don't have any open ground, will the desk next to my microphone do?
Yeah,
Or should I move my glass of water?
that's fine.
No, I'll leave a few hazards, I
All
reckon.
right, and then I'll move this microphone because this one will get hit.
Certainly no research getting in the way.
Should I? Oh,
Step 4, leave the controller to the chopper at least 5 metres far away.
now the antenna is currently touching. Ah!
He's electrocuted himself.
What happened there? What happened?
He's electrocuted
Have you-
himself.
was that actually an electric shock?
My ears hurt.
That was Mr. Rudd being electrocuted. Nowhere as graphic as what I just saw. So the lesson we've learned here is do not switch on a remote control helicopter and then touch a microphone that's live, apparently.
The antenna hit the microphone and my ears went bang.
Do we need to call your mother? Does she need to come and pick you up? Do we need to go to a song?
My teeth hurt.
Do you want a teaspoon of sugar?
We're going to go to a song.
They got me right in the teeth.
Got to get the medics in here.
I taste metal. I can taste metal in the back of my throat.
Chopper in the medivac.
Jesus.
Are you all right?
Yeah, man. I'm good. I've never been happier.
I've never
I'm
seen
a teapot, yeah?
the techs were pissing themselves. All the techs just assembled outside the glass, and obviously there's something about, I don't know what, earthing or electricity. I wasn't paying attention that day at
Just trying to
school.
get the smoke to stop coming out of my ears.
Normally the only thing that can make the techs laugh is DVDs of Robot Chicken.
That's true.
So you've
Done well.
very impressive. You're saying you're going to go in and have a second go at launching this thing.
But that's a problem. You haven't been following the instructions. You didn't put it onto open ground.
Yeah, I don't have any open ground. I've only got a desk.
At least 5 metres far away.
Don't touch the microphone. See if you can make
Okay.
it fly.
Well, I'm going to have to go off microphone. Maybe if you
Okay.
turn Nikki's microphone, I can shout, okay?
Well, let's cut to the final move.
All right.
Step 5, confirm that fly area far away from any obstacles. Then pilot Yo Chopper.
Pilot my chopper?
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
here we go.
All right, listeners. Take this, Nathan. This bad boy works. 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's flying. Hang on.
Wow.
It's got a foot and a half.
Jeez, it's gone a foot and a half.
A foot and a half. Who said we don't have good... Oh, hang on. He's having another crack at it. Relaunch.
Yeah.
Yes, it's flying. And it's hit a wall and knocked over, I'm embarrassed to say, some Kenny G CDs. That's very embarrassing for Triple M. I should have said Thirsty Merc, shouldn't I? Well, it did fly. I mean, technically, if it falls off the desk and lands on the floor, there's about a half a second where it's technically flying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was sort of thinking it might fly under the panel and create some havoc.
Okay. Why have we got Kenny G CDs in the studio? And I don't want
doing that. It was just sort of, I mean, the blades were spinning, but then the actual unit itself was spinning like a maniac. Surely the in MASH, the bottom half stayed pretty much stationary and the top half went off.
Are you saying that Nathan is right about our prizes? Yes, you are, aren't you? Mm. We've got to have a big spectacular finish to this thing tomorrow. You've got to come good with something.
Yep.
All right, I'll throw in these Kenny G CDs if you want. Why do we have them? I've been working on a Kenny G sketch for when we come back.
I have heard advance word of this sketch, and just the title alone is a crack up.
Really? Diagnosis Clarinet?
Yes.
It's going to be great. I promise you it will be. I'll work out what it is.
I reckon I've worked this out.
Maddie D.
Okay.
What have you worked out?
There's
You're
this
attacking it with a plastic spoon. I'm sure that's not regulation.
There's this bit on the side that says if it's spinning like crazily like it was,
Don't bother knocking.
then you a wooga. Then what you have to do is you have to spin this little thing and that will write it. You know what I mean? It's like a pendulum thing.
The techs are out there just nodding their heads. We know what he's talking about.
All right, so I'll do that, Tone.
No, because Maddie D had to go and find Kenny G CDs.
Yeah, Tone.
And then listen to and you know, Maddie D, he's into the hardcore stuff.
He is.
He doesn't want to be listening to Kenny G of an afternoon.
He's into types of music I've never heard of.
He
Like
was
trip hop.
Trying to defend himself by saying, "Oh, look, Kenny G is doing a lot of work with rap artists now."
What?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Q-tip?
Kenny G, the original G. Kenny G, the OG, is getting together with a hip hop group. I have no idea who they
one?
are.
So what will he be called now? G Kenny. Maybe he could just call himself G Kenny. I'll tell you who else is getting cooler and coming back, according to Richard Marsland, is the Famous Five. What have you heard there?
That's right. Famous Five are coming back.
Yeah, just
They're coming back.
underneath your helicopter instruction book. I think you'll find that story.
And they're coming back. They're going to be reunited in middle age, along with a descendant of Timmy the dog in a new television drama series for adults. Remember the character names from Famous Five?
Oh, George.
Rupert?
George Rupert, I don't think was in there. Julian, Dick and Anne.
So it's going to be like a modern update. Maybe they could go like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They could be like a super crew.
Call it Julian, Dick and Anne and put it on at 10:30 by the sounds of things.
I'm telling you, Dick, we need guns. Lots of guns. That kind of approach for the Famous Five. Have them walking up a corridor backlit like Steven Seagal. In Submerged. Here comes the Famous Five. Check them out. And yes, Ed is flying a helicopter around the studio. Oh, look, that music's made it work. Fantastic. Oh, look. It's dive-bombing Richard Marsland. It's taken out a carton of Farmers Union iced coffee. What do you want to say there, Ed? I know you're ogling my T-shirt, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is something my father-in-law brought me back from an ocean cruise.
Now, it's a touch Singapore airport in here, so we've all taken off the requisite jackets for Get This, exposing our embarrassing T-shirts. I'm wearing a number I like to call Curious Wrestlers.
Yeah, that's just very blue.
And Tony, the man that never leaves his house, has whipped off his shirt to reveal the tropical joy of Bora Bora.
I really wanted the Tora Bora one.
When did you... you've never been to Fiji, have you, Toad?
Never been to Fiji, no.
Or over the Pacific anywhere?
I think
have you ever been in the Pacific, Tone?
You can get really good illegally burned DVDs.
That's true.
In Fiji. I might head over there
Have you
for
ever
some
been in the-
Criterion editions.
Have you ever been in the Pacific Ocean, Tone?
Oh, yeah, I've been in the Pacific Ocean, because my stepfather had a boat, so we would go marlin fishing. I was mostly below decks with comic books. But yeah, I've sat in that chair, like from Jaws.
Oh, really?
The fishing chair?
Chumping out stuff?
I've had my feet dangling over the back of a boat being pursued by hammerheads.
Have you?
Yeah, like only about 6 feet away. Might want to pull your feet in, said my stepdad.
And you said?
Well, see, if you fall in the ocean, this is what they teach you in New Zealand. If you are surrounded by sharks, you're meant to punch them on the nose.
Yeah, that's the idea.
But with the hammerhead, which bit is the nose? Try finding the nose.
You meant to give him like a double hook around the side.
A bit of a Bud Spencer.
Yeah.
That's some baffling. Fish over there. What are we talking about? Now, I mentioned the podcasting.
Yep.
A lot of our older listeners don't quite know
Absolutely.
what a podcast is. How do you do it in easy stages, Mr. Marsland?
As you know, I had some troubles with my iTunes
You did
recently.
for a while,
Yeah.
don't you?
All you got to do is step 1, turn the computer on.
Yeah.
Step 2, dial up the iTunes, select the iTunes icon if you've got it downloaded.
Yep.
Step 3, select the Get This podcast.
Yep.
Step 4, leave the controller to the chopper at least 5 metres far away.
Now, the antenna is currently touching. Ah!
He's electrocuted himself.
What happened there?
Okay, sorry.
It's so enjoyable.
Just tuned in. That's become Richard's all-time favourite moment on Get This.
it's
Ed
just
Cavalier electrocuting himself on one of our prizes.
Safe to send out to the listeners.
It was so scary there.
Yeah,
But it was a nice electrocution.
Thanks, man.
It was one of the
It's one of the
sweet
better
ones.
ones I've had, yeah.
Galen enjoyed it. He called in. Carl Stefanovic thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, he knows how it is.
Fallout Boy. They were laughing away.
Hey, well, speaking of Fallout Boy,
Yeah.
well, Rich and I are writing a song, right?
Yeah, you're writing a song for a as yet unapproved TV ad.
3 minutes, though.
Yeah.
And I reckon we might get in the chart.
How's that? You haven't even written it. And during the song, he's staring wistfully in the middle distance going, hey, we might get into the charts.
If the Fallout Boy can get in with Thanks for the Memories and the Arse Face song,
Yes.
it's a goddamn arse face.
I love
We're
the
a
arse-
shoo-in.
I love that.
We are a shoo-in.
What about Tom Petty's freeballing? I can't
Yes,
stop
it's
singing that now.
filth.
Speaking of sounds, probably the most, we've done so many topics on Talkback Mountain. We've done, stuff from the news, stuff from real life. I don't think we've ever had as many calls as when we did Prelude to a Fart.
Brilliant.
Now, this was the idea of, if you disgrace yourself or you can feel one, about to explode from the nether regions, I know I'll precede it with a witty one-liner.
Well, does anyone know what's wrong with this Xbox?
For
That's got
example. Sorry, I'm doing the farts. The arm farts, I'll point out live. Rich, you can put the CDs away today.
Okay.
What were you going to go for?
Those, just a couple of cute little, maybe.
Nah, I don't want the pre-record. I don't want the shop bought ones.
No,
Okay.
no.
We're making our own today.
Absolutely right.
Prelude to a fart.
Now, since that time, Tone, I don't think I've ever had more emails, correspondence, phone calls, people shouting at me from cars to do Postscript to a fart.
Postscript to a fart. So this is, you haven't been able to come up with a one-liner in time. Oh, the truth is out there.
Yeah, it's happened.
I better follow it up with a zinger.
Absolutely
I
right.
like to go with the simple, get that straight down to forensic. And now with a sort of Shane Bourne city homicide twist. Straight down to forensic if you don't mind.
All right, Tone, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Give me one. Whose is that?
There you go. Maybe we need a boing and laugh to sort of create the impression these are funnier than they are.
Just class it up a bit. Just class it up a
Now,
bit.
actually, you live at the Dude Ranch, so surely there's a lot of this
do
kind
I?
of work
Yeah.
done there.
Sometimes it's a little bit of... Yes.
I'll tell you what I find goes down a storm, and that's lines from Police 10-7
Okay.
across the Tasman.
Okay.
Drunken New Zealanders, so you can go...
Assault! Assault! You touched me, officer. Sorry.
Or for a smaller one,
How come?
there you go. See, now everyone's forgotten about the affront to human decency and they're concentrating on the witty bon mot.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Mr. Marsden, care to have a crack?
Well, as you know, I don't come from a farting family.
You come from one of the great farting families of South Australia.
Absolutely right.
Well, this is the classic that would always happen in the house that I grew up in. Something like this. Oh, Dad!
Oh, you blame your dad. Blame your dad.
Is that okay?
Another good reason for getting a dog, as we all know.
absolutely right. Or a dad in my case.
Well, we were in trouble. We would get in trouble for fart humour.
Really?
It just wasn't on.
Yes, right, yeah.
What is going on in Adelaide?
Yeah. So as soon as I start with fart humour, I can just feel my mum's wooden spoon in the back of my head.
Oh.
Just in the subconscious.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe spoon to the back of the head and just drop another one out. Something to go on with, Mum. Think about it. Don't provoke me. I'm a machine.
More of the tank.
All right. We're down in the gutter. We're on holidays from tomorrow, so we'll come back so highbrow.
So highbrow.
So highfalutin. Call us up with your postscript to a fart.
Hi, Craig.
Hey, boys, how we going?
Excellent. Tone's going to lay one out for you and then hit us with it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Bang! Does that work for you?
Oh, every time.
Okay. Well, you're in the lead so far, Craig.
I've got another one for you, boys. If
all
you got
right.
a quick second.
Load
Here we
up,
go.
Load up, Tone.
Okay. Pull.
Bless you.
That's simple.
Classic. It's a classic.
Simple but effective.
Classic. Thank you, Craig. Lovely talking to you. Have a nice day. G'day, Chris. How are you?
Not too bad.
Here goes Tone.
It's not the smell, it's the burning of my eyes.
Of course.
Hey.
Thank you very much. Who's next?
Thanks, Chris. G'day, Alec. How are you?
Good, mate. How are you guys?
Good, thanks. Here goes Tone.
Ooh, somebody order effects?
I tried to give you a faxy one there,
Yeah,
too.
it's very true, Tone. Very dot matrixy. I liked it. G'day, Robert. How are you?
This is a hangover from my days in the army.
Here goes Tone.
Here we go.
Keep calling, sir. We'll find you.
Excellent. Excellent. Bit of search and rescue. Excellent work, Robert.
All right, look, that's what's going on over in the Gulf.
Thank you. G'day, Mark. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Excellent, sir. You ready?
This one wasn't mine, but I'll do it for you. I read it in the Zoo Weekly last week, or the Picture last week.
Well, that's where we get most of our show from. So here we go. Here comes your sound.
Merv Hughes just went up to the batsman, dropped one and said, hit that for six, you bastard.
There you go.
It's a lot to memorise, but it pays off.
Thank you, Mark. G'day, Jill. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Great. Here goes Tone.
How do you know my language?
Brilliant. Brilliant. Works anywhere. You could learn that phrase in all different languages too,
That's
Jill.
right.
Ed's fluent in that one.
Thanks. Hey, you guys, what am I supposed to do for the next 2 weeks while you're gone?
Oh,
You keep me sane.
Just do, I don't know, you could
Yep.
stalk Richard.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
it's either podcasting or stalking, one or the other.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you, bye.
Wrap it up. G'day, Darren. How are you?
There you go, mate.
Here we go. Tone, lay it out.
What a zinger.
Oh, what a zinger.
There's some, you know what I like about that, Darren? There's
old
pride in it. There's pride in that, Darren. So you're living the dream. When you let one go, you think, no, everyone cop that. It was good.
And also
Absolutely.
a bit of product placement too.
You can buy that space. Finally, we don't have time, but Byron, how are you?
G'day, Ed. What, bit of choking, she'll start.
No, she'll start. It's a classic.
It's a beauty for in the car.
Yeah.
Or anywhere, really, all occasions. Are we taking that last one?
Yes, we are. G'day, Peter. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Here goes Tone.
Oh, it's better to fart and stink a little than tear your ass and be a cripple.
There's a lot going on.
It's a beautifully appropriate one and a fair bit of truth in there as well.
It's a rhyming couplet.
Fantastic.
Beautiful, Peter. It's lyrical. That's what I like about it.
Thank you, everyone, for coming down to our level.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, what are people going to do without fart jokes for 2 weeks? Matt Quartermaine is with us. He's been on and off Triple M over the years. He's a TV critic these days. Is he corruptible? Do they send you, you know, free stuff to try and get you to, you know...
No, it's the big issue.
Okay. Here's 20 cents. I want a good review. We like to theorise that maybe some of the letters to the TV sections are written by publicists or possibly actors themselves.
Absolutely.
There's one today in the Green Guide in Melbourne. See what you think of this. Born Again. It beats me why the ubiquitous Shane Bourne was cast in Seven's new series City Homicide. He's much more suited to Thank God You're Here. A perfect piece of casting for that part would have been Sean Scully, an actor we don't seem to see at all these days, and yet he's one of the best this country has produced. That's from S. Scully of Hawthorne. No, it's not. It's actually from W. Hughes of Hawthorne. I'm hoping it's not Wendy Hughes. She's on City Homicide in a couple of weeks.
There you go.
Yeah.
But isn't that?
Body and a murder. Hey ho, hey ho, we've got a body.
There we go. Well, apparently he's doing on the set. He's demanding they change the name of City Homicide to Thank God You're Dead, so that he could do both shows at once. Sean Scully is an excellent actor, but what an odd letter.
It's very strange. Scully freaks getting behind his case.
The big controversy, of course, in TV is this Californication business.
Oh, I love that show.
You liked it?
Yeah, I love that show. It's
You're
a
not
great
saying
show.
it should be banned? You're not calling Channel 10 pornographers?
No.
No, because if you don't like it, you can switch off your telly.
Oh, hello.
Let's not get radical. You can change the channel.
It's a crazy idea, I'm sure.
What, head over to City Homicide?
Exactly right. I don't want to turn it off.
Now, what have you... I know it's technically illegal to download TV shows off the internet.
Of course.
But of course, when...
But a good friend of mine.
Your good friend, that's very good. Because, you know, when the networks don't show them, how else
am I
I
meant to see
know.
them?
How else you meant to see the rest of the Shield?
How else you meant to see the rest of The Wire?
Yeah.
That kind of
Oh,
stuff.
The Wire. Love The Wire. What a great show.
Top stuff.
It is a great show, but what have you... what has your friend obtained recently that he's been impressed by?
John from Cincinnati.
John from Cincinnati is the show that David Milch, the creator of Deadwood, stopped making Deadwood
Yes.
to make. Now, I've only seen the first episode. I was completely confused.
Oh, it doesn't get any better.
Right.
You know, about 10 eps in, and it's stopped after 10 eps. They've stopped it. They've
So
got rid of it.
you've seen all 10?
Yeah.
Can you understand it at all?
No.
It's about surfing.
Yes.
And
this
floating
sort of-
above the air, a foot over the air
levitation
for no
and
reason.
Some sort of god-like bloke who comes along and can pull anything out of his pockets.
Right.
Money, Visa cards.
Okay, I accept it's confusing. Is it good?
Well, it's got most of the cast of Deadwood popping up, and it's hilarious. It's really funny. I really liked it. I didn't understand a single thing, but that's sort of nice.
All right, but, you know, what's happening with Deadwood? That's what people want to know.
Well, you know, that's what everyone wants to go back. Now that they've got rid of that, they're all going, well, how about going back to Deadwood?
Why not? It's been months since I saw someone fed to the pigs amongst a volley of invective. That's what I need. That's what's missing from my life. What else have people been slipping you?
Oh, Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. Now, when I was a kid, this was a very daggy show.
Oh, it was very
but
daggy.
The new version, I'm told, quite good.
Very good. Very
What
good.
makes it
Lots
so
of-
good?
The dramatic conceit of it is that the Cylons are actually the robots produced by the humans. And they've gone off and they've come back being able to produce humans.
Right.
Right, look like humans. So you can't tell who they are.
So the Cylons aren't just a bloke with a light from the front of a bicycle bobbing around in front of his helmet like it was when I was a
They're
kid.
the old version. The new ones are beautiful semi-naked women.
Hot chicks.
Hot chicks,
okay.
man.
See,
Really
now-
good.
now I'm
really
listening.
good.
Whenever you want to inject interest into a science fiction franchise, Hot Chicks is always the answer.
Oh, yeah. And when they die, they upload their memories into the next version of themselves.
Very good.
So that dramatic conceit is just fantastic. You know, they cop it, they die all the time, and the beautiful girl comes back okay.
There you go. Now you're going to tune in, aren't you?
Well, when you say semi-naked, how semi are we talking?
Well, not Californication.
Well,
naked.
then I'm not sure. That
We are
Okay.
trapped in the... Ed is watching Adam West in
Batman.
Batman.
Oh, yeah. Catching up on that one.
Yeah, big time.
I've been up late at night watching a bit of Murder, She Wrote, which I discovered recently ran for 12 years and ran for 265 episodes. And what you really want to see is just an episode of, Unsolved Mysteries with someone going, these 265 murders over a 12-year period have one thing in common. A visiting authoress. What was she doing there?
Yeah, what did she
Every single time.
Suspicious.
The only thing they have in common. This eccentric old lady. The other one that, you get like that, do you find when you watch a lot of TV, you start to pull it apart, you start to go, CTU should just notice that if there's going to be an explosion, it's always going to be at 1 minute to the top of the hour.
That's that's right.
What
that's right.
Columbo just needs to look for the biggest name actor who he's going to be talking to in that episode. That's who's
the
going
one.
to be guilty.
That's the one. Yeah.
It spoils the shows. You shouldn't really talk that
Happy
way.
days. 5 minutes to go. It's time for our moral.
Yeah, that's right. Ed was too young to see Happy Days first time round. Not impressed. How did you describe the Fonz?
As a mechanic who's 36 hanging out with guys in year 11 in the toilets.
In the toilets.
You got a problem? Come to the bathroom. I don't want to. I got a problem at home. Yeah, I'll sort it out in the bathroom. Seriously, no, let's come in. Shut up, just come in. Here, have a drink. I didn't put anything in that drink. What are you talking about? Just come in. Shh.
That's not the Fonz's style at all.
Come on, just come in.
Chachi is in...
See what happens.
Chachi show. Oh.
Diagnosis Murder. He's in that now.
That's right.
Diagnosis Chachi, I call it. Here's something odd that you don't see in TV. That show, The IT Crowd.
Yeah.
Heard about that one?
Yeah, it got bagged. Everyone I know hated it. I didn't watch it. It was from Graham Linehan, who was one of the writers of Father Ted. Watched an episode of it on YouTube last night. Got a fair few cacks, I have to say.
Good on you, Tom.
But it's got that guy who was in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which was shown on SBS, very obscure comedy show. The guy, Dean Lerner, the guy who talks like this. He's in the IT Crowd, the British version. I think his name is Richard Ayoade. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce it. They've done an American remake, and he's going over to play the same character in the American version. Has that ever happened before, where they've done the remake across the Atlantic and the same actor has played the role?
Because they've done it with The Office, haven't they?
Yeah, but there's no one from the original.
No crossover.
Yeah. No crossover. No one from Steptoe and Son was in Sanford and Son. I think you'll find. Sorry, that's how old I am.
No one from Man About the House was in Three's Company.
No one went over.
No.
Eutha Joyce didn't cross the Atlantic, play Mrs. Roper. It didn't happen. All right, that's how trivial we're getting today. What have you seen, Mr. Marsden?
Does anyone remember a TV show from the 80s called Legmen?
No.
Okay, it was on for about 6 or 7 episodes. The closest I can find, and I just watched this morning, I've been looking for it everywhere, it was only uploaded to YouTube recently, is a Channel 10 promo for Legmen on YouTube.
What was the show about?
And it's not necessarily brilliant, but I just thought I'd share it.
What was it?
I'm not sure if anyone else knew the TV show Legmen.
What's Legmen?
Well, I guess it was slightly racy. You know, there were a couple of guys, maybe they were bounty hunters or something like that, but the conceit being that they were legmen, that they enjoyed the ladies. Now and again, there are ass men, I guess, in some episodes as well. But the TV show is called Legmen, and it also continued in that tradition.
Hang on, so they're horny bounty hunters.
I don't know what it was.
So it's like Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
But, or as we call him, Sergeant Moss, because it looks to me like his beard is just moss growing on his face.
Who's the guy who looks like Charles Bronson in that new Matty Johns film, The Final Winter?
There's a question. There's a question they're asking on every show.
That Lavelle character.
I just want to pick my watermelons. I love Charles Bronson.
But Legmen continued in the tradition of guys wearing jeans with the bandana around.
Bang,
around the thigh muscle, Punky Brewster, Chachi style.
Okay, now I don't know what we're talking about. I'm sure a lot of people at home are in a similar boat. What have you seen, Mr. Cavalier?
Well, as you know, I'm a big That's Life guy. And I find the That's Our Baby section boring beyond words. However, they've cranked up the pet pin-ups, Tone. Look at this. It's $50 to send in a picture of your pet.
Oh.
I don't know why you haven't done it yet. And normally it's just dogs. Who cares? It's rolling on its back. It's got a cigar in its mouth. I couldn't care less. Have a look at this, Tone. Describe what's happening there in the top photograph.
There's a cat using another cat's tail as a sort of...
as a scarf.
As a scarf.
Yeah, his little neck's cold.
As a boa.
So he's grabbed the other cat's scarf and wrapped it around his head.
Yeah, that's much better than just adding the speech bubble to a dog, can I get you a cup of tea?
That's what I was getting to.
That's not worth $25 of anyone's money.
That's what I was about to get to. Attributing quotes, why does a dog sitting there looking at you like, why is that thing flashing in my face, equal, can I get you a tea or a coffee?
The cat. Okay.
I want some food. I want some food. I want some food.
$50 for those photos.
Apart from Nikki, our producer, we don't have kids in here, Matt, but you do. Have you ever been tempted to send your child into That's My Baby?
Well, weirdly, I the only way I tried to get on telly was to send a video of my kids in the bath to Funniest Home Videos.
Was it any of them injured?
Well, no, it didn't get on because
They weren't doing anything?
well, yes, they were. My little girl was singing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," accompanied by her brother on arm farts.
Oh, what?
And it didn't make it
That's
because I guess I did, my own sound effects.
That's a network promo.
yeah.
Hang on, so you're saying they got... No, sorry, mate. We do the noises in here. We're not accepting that.
We choose the boings, mate. We choose the boings.
Yeah, Ed dressed up as a giant mouse and had someone punch him in the face. That didn't get him on.
Still didn't get on.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
trying to reach that nirvana one day.
G'day, Toby. How are you?
Very well, yourself?
Excellent. What have you seen?
Early 90s movie called Airborne, Edward. Young surfer man from California. I think he moved to Canada or something like that, but he doesn't know what to do. He's not cool enough until he finds his rollerblades.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what actors?
I'm with you now.
Who's in this one?
Oh, I wouldn't even be able to tell you the name of the guy. All I remember is that he was so uncool with all of the kids until he won the race down Devil's Backbone.
Of course.
That's right. And is the cover of him doing a jump? Is it? Is a jump on rollerblades?
Yeah, because he comes off a bridge and rollerblades up a tilt tray down about a height of probably 3 billion metres.
That's right. That's right.
And lands to win the race and skate into people's hearts.
That's
Right.
so true.
Now, this is Airborne. Did you say Kevin Bacon?
No, there's a Kevin Bacon film called
The Air Up Here.
The Air Up There.
Where he goes
That's
to
it.
Africa
Yeah.
to
That's
get
right.
the African tall guy to play basketball.
And I
That's
might
right.
be wrong, but I suspect that film is directed by Starsky from Starsky
Is
and
that
Hutch.
right?
Yeah, sorry.
Paul Michael
Paul
Glaser.
Michael
Did he
Glaser.
also direct Air Bud, the basketball playing dog?
Yeah.
All around the same quality.
Absolutely right. Thank you, Toby.
So I should point out it was a very sad day in our house because we are a dog family when we learnt that Air Bud had in fact died
Oh.
and been replaced in the sequel by another identical dog and
Oh.
nobody had been told.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a deception.
I think that's called the Lassie syndrome.
That's Milo and Otis syndrome. That's what that is.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
Oh, I was driving down the Brunswick Street in Brisbane,
Yes.
in New Farm actually,
Yeah.
Right.
and I saw a guy in like the roller skates, the white roller skates with pink laces, not roller blades, the skates with
No.
more of them. He had long white and black polka dotted bike pants all the way down to the ankle.
Yep.
He had a pink bike shirt on, and the strangest part was he was eating a tin of dog food with a spoon.
Wow. That man has it all.
And which Triple M station promotion was he part of, Scott?
I think it was. I'm not too sure actually.
That's fantastic. Did you say anything to him?
Oh, I was driving past in the car. It wasn't just a double take; it was like a quadruple.
Wow.
He's earned that quadruple take.
Well, I can actually say I used to live in Brunswick Street in New Farm.
Is that right, Doug?
And is the New Farm, the Village Twin is no longer there, is it?
It's being renovated, actually. I think they're reopening it soon.
Because there was a guy who lived down there when I was there who used to, every couple of weeks, take a dump out the front of the cinema. I think he may have been a local critic. I'm not sure. It's very popular, yes.
Keep us posted, Scott. Lovely to talk to you.
I'm giving that one 3 nuggets. Sorry.
Hi, Craig. How are you?
Watching Californication the other night,
Oh,
Yes.
and where he's in the midst of doing this girl and she punches him in the face.
Yeah.
That's actually the girl from Nanny.
Oh, yes.
From the nanny.
There was I know the internet exploded the other night when people realised that the girl from the nanny was Norgs Ahoy on California.
Hey.
And Craig, were you offended by the Californication program?
No, loved it, mate.
Loved it.
I'm guessing you're another one of these people that's got the, what is it called again, Ed?
The off switch?
Off switch on your
Yeah,
TV.
that's
You've
right.
got one of those?
I don't know. I don't know where to find it.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have workshops.
It was taped over during that show the other night.
Thanks, Craig. Hello there, Joel. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Eddie, how are you, mate?
I'm excellent, sir. What have you seen?
I was on YouTube the other day and I found Ultimate Fighting Cats.
Now, I've seen this.
What is Ultimate Fighting Cats?
Yeah, describe it for the others, Joel.
Well, it must be illegal something over in the States because there's this massive stadium chock full of people, and in the centre is this tiny little arena. It looks like a little cage for a cage match cat fight. And then inside that there's 2 little kittens pinning each other down and putting them through all sorts of Ultimate Fighting moves.
How do they train them to do that?
I have no idea.
Biscuits?
Manchurian Candidate style hypnosis, something like that?
Probably a bit of both.
Well,
Maybe.
Shocking footage, isn't it, Joel?
Oh, it's vicious.
It reminds me of the old cat swinging scene from The Jerk, I think it is.
Yes.
Thank you, Joel.
What a fantastic list of things to go and see
Brilliant.
if you get the opportunity.
Brilliant.
Thanks, everyone.
To be honest with you, all of those things sound like wonderful television shows and some music in there as well. The polka dot guy with the can of dog food, he was the best for mine. The ABC is listening. I know you've got some slots, 9:30 on a Tuesday. Sign him up, see what he comes up with.
Get this, it's blown out to 2 hours, 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network.